On this edition of the Koffers, we're going to war. All right, as you're seeing this, we are on the eve of the release of the new trailer for Godzilla and Kong, the New Empire. So I figured, let's go diving back into the Monsterverse for a second, because I found this guy boxed away, and I think back in 2021 when I found him, I made the thinly veiled threat that I was going to do a toy review on him. Well, now that I'm knee-deep into it, I'm making good on that threat. So we are looking at the Playmates Warbat today. So what you're seeing here is what has been on display for the last 3 years now. I no longer have the box, but I have this shiny graphic of the box to show you. Yeah, look at that. So what I'm going to basically be doing, since this is an older figure, is just doing a quickie little review because, well, he's been out for a while, but he's still pretty cool, and it's an interesting little cornerstone of the Monsterverse stuff, especially the Playmates line. So let's dig in. So the Warbat stands about 5.5, 6 inches long. He was one of the absolute hardest figures to find out of the skirmish that was the Godzilla vs. Kong figure set. I managed to find him solo, hanging on a peg at a Walmart. Literally the last Godzilla and Kong figure on that entire shelf. So I got lucky. I know many others did not. And now this guy is currently one of the highest priced Monsterverse figures on the resale market. Mostly because I think he was a later edition in the boxes that came out, so he was a little hard to find, and I think he might have been 1-2 per box. So he is an ancillary character. I mean, overall, the Warbats in the Godzilla vs. Kong film pretty much only take up about 1.5 minutes of screen time, but they're still cool. It's a nice little addition to the greater Monsterverse lore. So as for a Playmates figure, this one's actually pretty good overall. It's got a really cool sculpt. He's kind of twisted. I mean, there's only so many ways you can market a flying serpent, but I think the sculptors on this did a pretty bang-up job. The head is actually kind of, basic, but it gets the job done. The back of the wings are flexible, as you can see on the hinges right there. And there is this, see if I can pop it out. Yes, the Dino Damage theme that was part of all of these Playmates Monsterverse figures. So this thing is a pain in the butt to put back in for the most part. And of course, the one time it sticks. Yeah, so who looks like a jackass? This guy. Other than that, he's not the most versatile action figure that one could play with, especially since this line is aimed at kids. Considering that, well, he pretty much can't do much. The position I have him in, as you can see, the tail loops around here like a weird Ouroboros almost. And I have to just slightly prop it up like this because he is quite top heavy. Now, the wings fold in, they open up like so. But honestly, that's about the extent of the action of this action figure. Although, to be fair, his jaw does move a little bit, if you call that movement. So, I mean, you can smash your Godzilla and Kong figures into this guy, but he ain't doing a heck of a lot play-wise. But for those who are completionists like me, it's fun to have. And like all of the Playmates 6-inch line, they all came with a little accessory. This one came with a teeny little Osprey. Even though I can't remember Osprey actually being in the movie per se. But as you can see, it is simply just a gray figure, just gray molded figure. It's pure plastic. There's no mobility to it. But for those who like to customize, this is perfect. In the overall scheme of things, I mean, there you go. But that is up to the buyer. So if you're a completionist like me, I get it. But overall, quality-wise as a toy, fair to middling. So, but with the Godzilla Kong New Empire trailer coming out tomorrow, I wanted to do something a little fun. So remember, if you like what you see, we do have a show. It's called the Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. You can find us at thekaijukingdompodcast.com. And if you don't like downloading, we are also on all of your favorite streaming services under the Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. That includes our sister show, Common Kaisers, as well. And if you want to follow us online for all the updates and news that's going on in the Kaiju world, we are on social media. We're on X at the Kaiju Kingdom, Instagram at the Kaiju Kingdom, and Facebook.com/the Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. And that will do it for this edition of the Koffers. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.